Welcome in to the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside by my co-host, Jake Fromm. Be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Punt and Pass on X and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He's at From Jake, puntandpass.com, the number one destination for all things college football. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Appreciate everybody's support. Hopefully 2026 is off to a great start for you and yours. Unfortunately, Georgia's season is over. We're getting ready for the college football playoff semifinal games, which are this Thursday and this Friday. And I think, Jake, they are going to be some awesome games. We're going to update everybody as to what's going on in Athens with the Dogs as the offseason has begun. We'll preview those two college football playoff semifinal games. I'm fired up. How are you, my man?
Man, I'm fired up too. I feel like, I hope everybody's 2026 is off to a great start. My household kind of going through it right now, a little under the weather. Everybody seems to be sick at the moment. So got a pounding headache right now as we're recording, just trying to grind through it. You got to do what you got to do. You got to bear down.
You have to.
You got to grind it out. So, man, that's what we're here doing. Cannot wait to talk about these games because they're going to be good ones, even though Georgia's not in it. I do think the fan viewer experience is going to be awesome. And these are some really good football teams. So it's going to be fun to talk about.
Yeah, no question about it. Miami, Ole Miss, Thursday night in the Fiesta Bowl. And then Friday night right here in Atlanta, Oregon against Indiana, a Big Ten rematch from earlier this season, which was a great game. Indiana went out and took care of business against the Ducks. So we'll see if the Ducks can get some revenge. It's going to be fun to watch.
Sorry, man. When you said it's going to be a great game, I just heard the Trump voice come out when you said that. So, man, it is going to be a good game, man. There is NFL talent all over Oregon's roster. Going to be a good one, and Indiana's playing with a bunch of 23 and 24-year-olds. So, man,
they're not afraid. They're not afraid of the moment.
No, man, they're not, man. They're a semi-pro team, and they got the Heisman quarterback. So, man, watch out, man. There's no telling what kind of magic Kurt Signetti is going to muster up, and it's going to be fun to watch, man.
What's this week been like for you? Obviously, that dreaded Monday after the long holiday break, right? It was January 5th. Some people rank like the worst Mondays of the calendar year from a work perspective. And that January 5th, after, we talk about it, December's kind of like touch and go. And then you start getting the, hey, let's circle up after the new year. And that's when everybody really starts to shut it down. The holiday parties happen. Maybe you leave the office a little bit earlier. And then when you get back that Monday, it could be feast or famine. How's it been for you? I've been kind of burning it from both ends, which is all good. No complaints.
Yeah, man, absolutely trying to burn it too on my end as well. Just trying to set a bunch of things up, man. Got a pretty busy spring in the hopper. So right now it's just trying to get all the information we need and get rolling. So got a duck trip planned up for the end of January. Excited to go out to Arkansas.
Where are we going?
Again. Going to Arkansas, man. We're going to shoot some ducks out there. And so trying to plan a deer hunt here soon as well out in Texas. So they have an extended season and maybe able to go out there in February. So, man, a little work, a little pleasure, but man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a busy spring and busy start of the year for us.
What constitutes as a great duck hunt? Is it the amount of ducks that are there? Are the ducks bigger? Are they fatter? Do they fly slower? Are they prettier?
Yeah.
Educate me on duck hunting.
That's a great question. So, there's two schools of thought on this, right? It's a quantity thing or it's a quality thing. So from our perspective here in the state of Georgia, what we're going to primarily get is wood ducks. Wood ducks are great, man. There's people from all over the country that don't get the opportunity to shoot wood ducks. So when they come down here and they get in the tight quarters, shooting wood ducks in the timber, man, it's an experience that they've never had. But for us, right here in Georgia, we're like, dude, we want to go out west because we want to shoot big ducks, man. We want to shoot mallards. We want to shoot galwal. We want to shoot pintail, widgeon. We want to have all these opportunities to shoot these cooler, quote unquote, more prestigious ducks. Greenheads just kind of, man, greenheads just run the duck hunting lore, and
that's a mallard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so everybody wants to shoot greenheads, man, and hit the calls and get to shoot them in the Arkansas timber. And we'll be primarily hunting over rice paddies. So there'll be teal, there'll be pintail, and some mallards mixed in there, but a lot of gadwalls as well. And you have the opportunity to shoot a variety. You just never know what your bag is going to be. You get 6 ducks a person, and we go grind it out.
Per person.
Yep.
You better be selective.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It would surprise you.
I'm learning.
Well, it surprise you. You go hunt with 4 guys, that's 24 ducks. It'd be surprising how easy it can be to limit out, and then also how hard it can be to scratch out a limit. Just depending on where you're at.
Who's counting?
Generally there's the head honcho in charge.
Okay.
He's the one calling. He's the one calling the shots. He's talking about the spread. And it's there is nothing quite like the dynamics in a duck blind, right? Because everybody wants to make fun of the guy calling the shots because he's not doing it right. There's either this, hey, I'm going to rip this guy about everything, or I am just so out of my comfort zone, I'm going to trust this guy.
Gotta listen to everything.
You got to listen to everything he says. So
wow,
great stories, great fun, cutting up. It's always a good time, man. I think duck hunters in and of themselves they're a little bit nutty because there's a screw loose somewhere, because how on earth do you justify sitting in freezing cold water to shoot 6 ducks, right?
Yeah.
And in Georgia, you're going to do that to shoot 3 ducks, 3 wood ducks, right? That's the limit on wood ducks. So it's, man, you got to be a little different. Right. I think you got to be a little crazy.
Indeed. That would not be for me. Now, if you invited me, I'd go. Yeah. I'd have a blast. I mean, I'd probably implicitly trust the guy calling the shots in the duck blind, and hopefully I could bring some hot hands or something and keep myself warm. Yeah. So, put that on the radar for maybe later on this spring.
All right, I'll put it on the radar.
Learn something new every day. That is the Punt and Pass duck hunting educational series that we may or may not start here.
I'm in on that.
Forward. Hey, this episode of Punt and Pass is presented to you by PrizePicks. That's right, PrizePicks is the best. Win cash with PrizePicks. Sports plus PrizePicks equals cash. They've got team picks now. I did hit a team pick this past weekend. I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to win outright over the Ravens. That game was crazy. That paid out. Of course, you got your player picks as well and culture picks. PrizePicks is the best daily fantasy platform in the country. Longtime partners of Punt and Pass. That's right. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. And you get $50 instantly added into your account when you play your first $5 entry. Win or lose, they've got it all. NBA, college basketball, college football, NFL, TGL. The golf league is on PrizePicks. It's the best. Every single day, there's something right there for you. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. $50 instantly into your account after you play your first $5 entry. I'm going to get active during the college football playoff semifinals. Today's episode of Punt and Pass is also brought to you by Umberto Injury Law. If you've been hurt in an accident and need a team that fights for you like we fight on the field, Umberto Injury Law is here for you. Umberto and his team know what it takes to win, and they'll stand by your side every step of the way. Visit UmbertoInjuryLaw.com to learn more or call them 24/7, 770-888-8901. That's 770-888-8901, UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. All right, so the transfer portal is open. Some players are declaring for the NFL draft. The college football playoff semifinals are underway. College football is just totally backwards right now. The schedule is insane, Jake. But news out of Georgia, a couple of players who were expected to announce that they were departing for the NFL draft. Those announcements have been made official. First was Christian Miller, defensive lineman, great player for Georgia, a leader on the defense. He is headed to the NFL draft. Another expected one, Zachariah Branch, elite transfer this past year from Southern Cal. He comes in, has an immediate impact on the offensive side of the ball. Mel Kiper has him as like his 4th ranked wide receiver. So congrats to Zach Branch. He's heading on to the NFL. And then, of course, Oscar Delp, tight end at Georgia. I think he's going to have a bright future in the NFL. He's athletic. He can catch. He can block. Congratulations to those 3 guys. They have announced that they are heading into the NFL draft.
Yeah, congrats to those guys, man. It's going to be an exciting, fun, different couple months, right? Getting all the draft prep stuff and what the kind of change of life and scenery. It's a new phase, man. Really excited for those guys and being able to have the opportunity to accomplish their dreams of playing NFL football.
Yeah.
All three of those guys, really good football players. They're going to be missed. They're going to be hard shoes to fill. And man, I think Zachariah Branch for me is probably the most interesting one of these three. Just like there's just no telling what his value could be for a team, right? Man, you know it better. In the NFL, punt returner is just it's a bigger deal. There's a higher value tag on that because you have more opportunities for returns because of the way the formations are set up. And man, if he can make an exceptional career of being a punt returner and being a 2 or 3 wide receiver on a team, man, that is a long and very, very good career in the NFL. So, man, who knows what he can do and what he can be. And I know some team's going to take a chance on him.
No doubt. Some team's definitely going to take a chance on him. I mean, I've seen some mock drafts where he goes in the first round, others where he's like 2, 3, or 4th round. He's definitely going to have a future in the NFL. I don't want to say guys like him are a dime a dozen in the NFL, but the opportunity to be impactful on special teams and then get involved in the offense as well, because Zach is that gadget guy. He could be a 2 depending on the offensive scheme, but he also, with what you're seeing now with some of these crazy formations with like a Ben Johnson, get him in the backfield, then split him out, throw the ball to him out of the backfield. I don't know. Going to be great. All three of those guys should definitely have an NFL future. Congratulations to Christian Miller, Zach Branch, and Oscar Delp for declaring for the NFL draft. I'm sure more will be announced in the coming weeks as well. For the transfer portal, of course, Georgia has kind of set themselves up, Jake, as a school that doesn't really have to expect a lot of people out. Probably the ones that do go, the coaching staff knows that they are on their way out. And then, of course, they're very selective on the ones that they bring in. The 2 biggest names as of right now, I think, that are entering the transfer portal, leaving the University of Georgia are 1, Roderick Robinson, the running back, 2, Bo Hughley, the offensive lineman who I think played in 10 games last year.
Man,
I think both of them probably didn't see an opportunity to play much in Athens heading into 2026. So best of luck to them. Georgia does get 1 commitment from the transfer portal, and it's Khalil Barnes, the safety from Clemson. So he will be coming to Athens to help out on the backside of the defense there for the Dogs. Much more to come here on the transfer portal. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot more about it next week, Jake, as it's just been open for a couple of days now. But I want to tee this up, and then we'll talk about it after. Coach Bobo, offensive coordinator at Georgia, was actually at the Sugar Bowl during some media availability, and he was just asked, generally speaking, hey, talk to me about this day and age in the transfer portal, and specifically what it means at Georgia. How do you guys approach it? Go ahead and run it, Jared.
We are, like you said, I think one of the top schools in the country of retaining guys. I saw some stat about whatever. That's probably what you were mentioning about the retention on the playoff teams. But, we don't know what might walk in and say, hey, coach, I want to go somewhere else. So you have to actively be ready to go in that portal and feel the needs at those positions, Coach's philosophy is, once you get them in this program and we train them and they know what we're about and our culture and how we work, they got a really good chance to be successful. And I think it's been a really good model for Coach Smart in Georgia, but you're still not going to say, oh, I'm never going to go in the portal. You're going to always, look to upgrade your roster.
I think he brings up a really interesting point, and that's that the coaches will get a guy in, develop him, and there's still no guarantee that he just won't up and leave. So you always have to be ready. And Jake, I think that's why you've seen this growth of like personnel guys or general managers at the college level to just keep tabs on what's out there. Hey, who are we targeting? Are we staying in contact with them however you can or can to be ready to make an addition if there is a subtraction?
Yeah, I feel so bad for these recruiting / scouting departments, right, in college. These guys who are not getting paid very much, but not only do they have to constantly be up to date with 4 years of high school football players, but also they have to be up to date with the rest of college football.
Yeah.
Of, hey, where the talent is, what they're doing, are they happy? Can they fill this need and this void for us? Man, it is a lot to keep up with. But yes, I mean, you have to be ready to dip your toe into the portal and get guys. And Georgia's had a ton of success doing that, of getting the right pieces in the transfer portal, especially with the receivers, and being able to have an immediate impact for their team. And I think going and getting older football players who are made of the right stuff that fit the mold and fit the culture, man, just it proves to have a ton of benefit for the team in the fall.
Coach Bobo was talking about the statistics around retaining players and the difference between the teams in the college football playoff. We talked about that, I want to say, before the playoffs started. There was a graph that came out. I forget who put it up, but Georgia was at the top of retaining players, and then it was like lowest usage of the transfer portal as well. Man, it's just a wild time. And obviously, I think Georgia's success of retaining players, one, but then two, having the opportunity to be as selective as they are in the transfer portal comes down to one thing, Jake, and that's transparency. Transparency from the coaches, transparency from the administration, probably transparency from the guys who are already on the roster talking to people that are interested in coming to Georgia. Hey, here's how things work here. Like, we don't mess around. It's different here. If you're good enough, you'll get a bag. If you play well and prove yourself, you'll get paid. This is how it's going to happen at Georgia. This is why we've had the success that we've had, and we're really not wavering from that. So I think that's the reason why, one, guys buy in. Look at Ryan Puglisi. I'm staying. I want to be here. I'm getting developed. I'm going to earn my chance to then go to the next level and play and start. And then you look at these guys in the transfer portal, like, yes, I do want to go to Georgia. Zach Branch came out and said, I've learned more about structure and commitment and consistency in these last 8 months than I have in my entire football career. That to me speaks volumes, Jake.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think recruiting the guys with the right stuff that fit your makeup, that fit your culture. The only thing for me is it has to be followed by results, right?
Sure.
You have to win football games. You have to make the college football playoff. You have to have a team. You don't have to win it every year, but you have to have a team that has a chance, right, to win it every year. And so, man, as long as Kirby is able to drive results with good rosters, with bad rosters, whatever the case may be, as long as the results come, he can continue to feed that message and recruit the guys and get the guys that he wants, that fits the mold that he wants. So, man, winning football games, it matters. And especially for me, man, when I'm looking at this, the analogy I'm going to use, it to me, college football, NIL, transfer portal, it's looking like NBA free agency, right? When you get guys that no disrespect here, but when you get guys that you've never heard of sign 3-year, $120 million contracts,
you are 100%.
And I know NBA money is different, but you're like,
who?
I've never heard of this guy. How is he making $40 million a year? And that's what's happening. And so my only fear in all this for the success and future of Georgia football, at some point, I do think the checkbook is going to have to get opened up a little bit more than it is.
Gotcha.
How long can Kirby keep feeding the message of development and grind and structure and doing it for the love of the game? Just because it's like, hey, man, when you are a young football player and you're a parent and you're, quite frankly, an agent, and you're trying to guide a young man on a decision he's going to make, it's when you're looking at opportunities, it's like, yeah, I can have this opportunity for a chance in the NFL and make X, or I can make 3X somewhere else, basically doing the same thing. It's like, man, it's going to be
really
down what I can make right now, and that is in the hand.
When you talk about that, Jake, exactly, but then throw on the gasoline to the fire of the tune of 100%, 200%, 300% increase in an annual earnings, like that's what people obviously will go to. I mean, you and I would do the same thing. It's so tough, man.
It is really,
Texas
really
Tech's
tough. Being able to do the money that Kiffin's throwing around at LSU, which is why he went to LSU in the first 100%. Place, to have more resources.
Would you say that's the number one thing that Georgia could improve upon heading into 2026? Being like, you know what? We're just going to empty the coffers. We're going to go get that big-time player at the need that we have. You're not going out to get a quarterback when you have Gunnar Stockton here. What I'm saying is, would you say that if Georgia had the opportunity, push comes to shove, they're at the final table with another school, looking at a defensive player and an offensive player. Both will come or both won't come. Would you say the biggest way for Georgia to improve heading into 2026 is by just saying, you know what, name your price, we'll give it to you, we need you on our team?
I mean, I think so, because you have to look at it from like the old school Patriots model, right? When Tom Brady, I'm not saying Gunnar Stockton is Tom Brady, but I'm saying, hey, you have a very top tier, high level quarterback on your roster.
On a team friendly deal.
On a team-friendly deal that you're essentially underpaying. He should have been in New York. If he finished up a little bit better, he should have been in New York, right? Have a chance for a Heisman Trophy possibly next year.
Yeah,
he is getting underpaid, and he wants to be there, and he's doing it for the love of the team and the love of the game. So this is an opportunity really to
surround him with talent,
surround him with a ton of talent, open up the checkbook a little bit. And let's see what we can do and what we can get. And I know there's young guys on this roster who maybe have higher ceilings. Are they going to be ready yet? I don't know. But I think you're going to have to take a good, long, hard look around in that transfer portal and be like, hey, man, like it may be risky, but we need to spend some money and upgrade our roster for some more for sure's, right? Maybe the ceiling isn't quite as high, but the floor is higher.
Right.
And
you know what you're going to get.
And you see NFL teams do that every year with kind of the number 2 and backup guys. And I don't know. It's something to think about.
It's a great thing to think about. And to that point, bringing people into your program has never been easier. With all the new rules, with the biggest staffs ever. Coach Bobo was asked about this at the Sugar Bowl, so great segue here, Jake. Let's hear what Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator at Georgia, had to say about how much things have changed and how quickly you can get transfers ready to play impactful football at your school.
Does it matter anymore?
No, I think it's a lot easier nowadays to, walk in a situation and have a chance to be successful early. The rules have changed a lot, where you can have so many walkthroughs, so many meetings in the off season where, X number of years ago you couldn't do that. In the summer you couldn't touch them, and you had to wait to fall camp. The staffs, to me, are so much bigger, the support staff guys, let's say we had somebody come in like Chambliss, and I might be on the road recruiting, but we got Brandon Streeter in-house that's constantly meeting with him and getting him ready up to speed. So I think the evolution of athletic department, especially football staffs, have enabled these guys to get ready and be able to play a lot sooner.
Coach Bobo obviously talking about a hypothetical there, saying, hey, if Trinidad Chambliss would have come to Georgia during the summer or right before fall camp or whenever, and Mike Bobo's out recruiting for the week and he can't even be there around him, Brandon Streeter, who's been an offensive coordinator in college football, who knows what Mike Bobo wants to achieve on the offensive side of the ball, he's there in the facility with them every single day, getting him ready, going over the playbook, going over practice tape. Like, that is so much different, Jake, than even when you were in school. And then you add in the coach to player helmet communication, which Lane Kiffin talked about on a podcast earlier this season, where Kiffin's talking to Chambliss until that play clock hits 15 seconds. And literally you're coaching the guy while they're in the game on the field of play. I thought that was highly interesting to hear Coach Bobo talk about that.
Yeah, man, that is a big deal. I think about my time, and I'm going to say this now, and I think I can because I'm totally guessing that the statute of limitations on this is probably passed up. But we would have secret undercover meetings, and when I got there on campus in the spring, and because of those, right, I got up to speed a whole lot faster, and I think it was a huge part of the reason I had as much of success I did early in my career is because I was ready, man. I got developed earlier. I understood what was going on. I understood the intent of plays. I could walk in on day one of spring football practice and I could call a full play. I knew what everybody was doing. I knew what the intent was. And I could kind of command my huddle because I had a lot of confidence because I knew what I was doing. Yeah. And that's basically essentially what Bobo's saying here of, hey, yes, the NIL and transfer portal, we're getting guys that from all over the place, from different backgrounds. But because of our staff and because the rules have kind of loosened up a little bit, we're able to get them in and meet with them more often and get them up to speed. I do think from the other side of things, I do think because of this, the transfer portal, I do think offensive football has gotten just so much simpler.
Yeah.
because of this, right? You don't have guys that are involved and in your program for a long enough time to really start to stack and build on it. I just think back on clips referencing Tom Brady and the Patriots again, right, man? They had that core group there for a long time.
Yeah,
and you, I mean, you got guys that have been there for 4, 5, 6 years in the same system. Man, you've seen a lot of different looks, and you can get and you can call plays and get to stuff a lot quicker with a lot more answers. So I don't know, man. And you kind of talk about the progression from college football, quarterbacks to NFL football, and I don't know, man. It's just, I think offenses as a whole have just gotten simpler and have gotten to more, hey, these guys are athletes and let's just put it on them to figure out a way to make a play work instead of on the coaches to figure out how to work. And I think that's what makes Ben Johnson different in Chicago, is because he said, hey, yes, we're going to use your athleticism, but it's on me to dial up the perfect play.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take responsibility for it.
Absolutely. That is a great segue as you talk about the Patriots into a quote that came out from a former Patriots coach getting ready to play in the college football playoff semifinal. This is incredible. Ole Miss coach Joe Judge, who Jake was highly complimentary of for what he did in situational football moments for Pete Golding and Ole Miss's team against Georgia. He, of course, longtime coach in the NFL, coached under Bill Belichick for the Patriots, coached for the New York Giants as well. He was an interim head coach there, right? Or was he a permanent head coach? Interim head coach, I believe.
Where, in New York with the Giants?
Yeah.
No, he was the head coach there for
a couple seasons. Wow. Ole Miss coach Judge Joe was asked about how hectic this week has been getting ready for the Fiesta Bowl. Obviously, transfer portal's open. Will his offensive staff be there? What's going on with Lane Kiffin? We got to go play a football game. Joe Judge was asked about how hectic the week has been, and this was his response. Quote, "My next door neighbor was Aaron Hernandez. I know this is more chaotic," end quote. That is incredible.
That's crazy. That's an all-timer quote.
That is an
I cannot believe
quote
he said that.
There. Holy cow. So shout out to Joe Judge, no doubt about it. Hey, this episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at PrizePicks. Now is the time to get on PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Go to the App Store, tap in PrizePicks. When you download the app, use the promo code PUNT. When you play your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly added into your account, win or lose. PrizePicks is the best daily fantasy sports platform in the country. They got player picks, they got team picks, they got culture picks. They have it all. College football playoffs, NFL playoffs, college basketball, tennis, TGL golf, PGA Tour starts next week, NBA. PrizePicks is the best. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. $50 instantly into your account when you play your first $5 entry. Check them out on social media at PrizePicks. Football games are won in the fourth quarter, and cases are won with relentless effort. Umberto Injury Law never lets up. They fight until the final whistle for every client. If you need a team that won't quit, check them out, UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. Call them, 770-888-8901. 770-888-8901. They've won for me. They can win for you. Umberto is mi amigo. He can be yours too, I promise. UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. Shout out to mi amigo, Umberto. Weather's been up and down. Looks like it's going to get a little bit cooler. That always brings me to Backer.
That's right.
BCKR.com, at Backer HQ on social media. Shout out to Hannah W., the winner of our $350 Warm One Georgia license giveaway. Man, I got a bunch of people reach out to me over the holidays. Jake, hey, send me the promo code. Send me the promo code. I sent them the promo code. They're ordering Backer gear. We love Backer. Shout out to Backer, proud sponsor of the Punt and Pass podcast.
Yeah, man, pumped. We're kind of entering that in between all these fall springs, right? Late Georgia.
Right.
It's just what we get. But man, pumped to get on the golf course and wear my cool one. Man, that's my go-to right now. Obviously, got the rain jacket in my truck all the time. So we'll have another cold spell. Get to throw on the warm one jacket. But man, it's high-end caliber gear, man. Can't go wrong with it.
It's great. Speaking of golf, what's that hoodie you're wearing right there?
It is actually a Mura hoodie. So I'm
I see that.
Pretty pumped about it. I'm actually looking at my box of iron and wedges right now. I'm going to film my video for Mura here in just a second. Going to follow up what you did.
Nice.
Maybe give the what's in the bag that nobody asked for. Man, that had me dying yesterday when you said that. So, man, I'm pumped about it.
You got the blended set, right? Didn't they give you 2 different styles of irons? Higher.
Yep,
and lower,
I got a C and a Y grind wedges. I got the TC 202s in pitching wedge to 8 iron, and then from 7 to 4, I got the IC 602s.
Ooh, dialed.
So, hey, no shame, no pride here, man. If I need a combo set, I need a combo set, man. All the forgiveness I can get, like,
of course.
I mean, we're talking about Rory. I don't know. There's Instagram clips of people are talking about Rory maybe going to like a blended cavity pack and some of the longer irons. Like, hey, if Rory's doing that, man, no shame in it at all, man.
Absolutely.
Take all the forgiveness you can get. Who cares, man? It's just about the goal is to put the ball in the hole. How you get there with what kind of equipment, who cares? But man, this Mura equipment is going to help me get it there a lot faster.
Absolutely. Check out MuraGolf.com. We've got promo codes for that as well. They've got it all: irons, wedges, gear, accessories, golf bags, hats. Mura is the best. Longtime partners of Punt and Pass. We appreciate them. It's almost golf season. I cannot wait.
With this weather right now today, it is golf season.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. All right, let's break down these games. College football playoff semifinal action gets underway on Thursday night. It begins in Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl. 10th-ranked Miami taking on 6th-ranked Ole Miss. Miami, a 3.5-point favorite in this game. The total sits at 52.5 points. Jake, these two teams, to me, fascinating matchup. Miami has been playing great football really for the last 2 months or so. Ruben Bain, Mesidor, their defensive ends can absolutely get after it. Mark Fletcher, their running back, has been toting the rock. Carson Beck has been taking care of the football. Malachi Toney, freshman of the year in college football. This team's playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of confidence. They just beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. And on the flip side, you've got Ole Miss, who it just seems to me like there's something special going on. Trinidad Chambliss balling, this team putting up with all the distractions. It feels like that they've all put their hand on the pile, Jake, and they're like, we have an opportunity to make something special happen, and they're doing it. I'm kind of shocked that Miami's favored by 3.5 points.
I am not. I think what is the biggest thing to watch out for in this game, and what has brought Miami up until this point, is Miami's front seven. Man, they are able to disrupt the quarterback and make the quarterback so uncomfortable during the game. I mean, it is essentially going to give them a chance to win a national championship with how good that front seven is. On the offense side of the ball, they are running the football really well right now. Carson is playing some good football. I think he could probably play better, but man, he's playing good, winning football right now. Like you said, he's taking care of the football. He's not making mistakes, and he's making plays when they're needed, man. He's a good quarterback, man. He's a veteran guy in college football. He's played in these moments before. Can Ole Miss continue their magic? And I think back to Miami. I mean, Miami was essentially the last team in, right? The other two got essentially, buy or not buys, but they got in because of winning their conference. Miami was the last team in, and they're being able to make a run, and they're about to play, in my opinion, for a national championship. I think they're going to beat Ole Miss in this game. I think it'll be tight, but man, Miami's on a run right now, playing really good football. I just don't think Trinidad Chambliss will be able to have the same magic and do what he was able to do in the Georgia game, just because the front seven of Miami is just quite simply better than what he saw in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia.
Yeah, he was definitely a magician. I mean, that's the perfect way to describe it. Now, how do you think his elusiveness can maybe persuade Miami's front seven to not be as aggressive? Is that right?
So this is going to come down to the discipline Ruben Bain has in the other defensive end on the other side. Okay, is this going to be about sacks for them, or is this going to be about the integrity of gap scheme on defense, right? We know they can run around the edges, all right, but can they keep Trinidad in the pocket and make him deliver and step up. So you have these edge rushers who get around the edge, make the quarterback step up, and you got to have the interior guys on defense push the interior of the pocket. Man, Trinidad, he's not the tallest guy in the world. I'm just telling you, it's such a uncomfortable feeling having to step up in a pocket where there's no place to step up to.
Right. 100%.
Right. Like when I played Alabama back in the day in 2017 and 2018, like I just remember that from those games of, hey, hitting my back foot at 9.5 and we're stepping up, but there's just nowhere to step up to.
Yeah.
Man, it's a suffocating feeling. You can't operate like you want to operate in. There's no lanes there. So it's just going to be about pass rush lane integrity from Miami. And can they stay disciplined and do it? And if they do, it's going to make Trinidad deliver from the pocket in a place that I think is going to be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because he was most effective running all over the field, throwing on the run across his body.
Man, that play where he backdoored it, circled around, and found Keelan Lacey down the sideline. I mean, that was a nail in the coffin. I mean, that was just such a.
And keep in mind, Dalen Everett almost intercepted a pass which would have ended the game.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. It was a wild game in the Sugar Bowl. Trinidad Chambliss was a magician. You said it best, Jake.
And there's still, and you know, we go back to the Joe Judge quote from earlier of all the chaos that's still going on.
It's insane.
There's less turnaround time in this game to get a good plan. I mean, I know there's people in that building who expected to beat Georgia, but I know there's some people in that building that probably didn't expect to beat Georgia, right? And they were already, hey, I'm going to give my best. I'm going to go through the motions, but after this game, I'm going to get back to working at my new job, right? Essentially, and that didn't happen. So they're like, well, I guess I got to work my old job for another 10 days now. So
I mean, think about Charlie Weiss Jr. Think about Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator at Ole Miss, still. New offensive coordinator already named at LSU. Now his name is in a bunch of circles around NFL job openings for offensive jobs in the NFL. I don't know, man. These distractions, they're for real. Seems like Pete Golding has at least kind of settled the waters from a transfer portal perspective. Everybody's saying they're coming back. Trinidad Chambliss signed a deal to come back to Ole Miss, and he's, of course, getting his waiver approved as well.
And I think Keelan Lacey did as well. I think that was a name
that's right.
They didn't expect. I mean, they paid him a lot of money to do so.
Sure.
But he's there and he's coming back, and I think that's got to count for something.
All right. Well, I'm taking Ole Miss. And look, I've been a Miami fan this entire time. Ole Miss's defense to me, I think can certainly affect Miami's offense. For all the Mike Bobo haters out there who are still out there and they'll never go away regardless of the success that Georgia has. Georgia scored 34 points in that game.
Plenty of points to win. Plenty of
points to win. Like, I'm so confused. Yes, of course, I pointed out the 3 straight 3-and-outs when they had the opportunity to go up 3 scores. Yes, of course, I wanted them to kick a field goal with literally no time left so that Ole Miss didn't have a chance to win on a game-winning field goal. However, this is
technically the offense scored 27, but
correct. Thank you.
It was 27 points is still plenty enough to win.
Yeah.
In today's college football. Plus the defense didn't allow over 10 points for the last 4 games of the season.
Right.
And they gave up 39.
Thank you. Like, this stuff matters. Look at the totality of it.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest about it.
Look at the totality of the picture. I totally agree. The reason I bring that up is to say, like, I just think Ole Miss offense and defense, the special juice or whatever they have going on their
some
program.
Special juice there, man. Saw it in person.
I got to think that their fan base is going to be out in Phoenix in droves. So give me Ole Miss. I'll take Ole Miss over Miami. And here is why. I've given so much love to Carson Beck for what he hasn't done. Those streaks end. And I think Ole Miss could potentially get him into a position to turn the ball over. So I'll take Ole Miss. Jake is taking Miami. All right, how about the Peach Bowl on Friday night right here in Atlanta, Georgia? 5th-ranked Oregon going up against the top-ranked, undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana, a 3.5-point favorite. The total here, 47.5 points. Jake, something tells me that you and I are going to be on opposite sides of this one as well. I actually gave you love, and I'll just go ahead and assume I gave you love on a show I was on because everybody was talking about the college football playoff semifinals. Hey, who do you like? Oh, it's Miami, man. I love Ole Miss. How could you not love Indiana? And I said, wait a second. The team that I'm not hearing enough love about
you're not hearing
the
enough.
Team that my podcast partner loves, and that's the Oregon Ducks.
I'm telling you, man. I by nature of the timing of events, being down there at the Sugar Bowl, I was able to watch a ton of this Oregon versus Texas Tech game. And Oregon scares me, man, because they have a bunch of dudes. And yes, Texas Tech's defense was really good. And Oregon's offense made a few mistakes here and there. But, man, if they can just clean up a few kind of self-inflicted wounds that they made, I mean, man, they are right on the cusp of really breaking this thing open. Their defense is really solid. Man, you have Dan Lanning there. There's some juice there that's going on. I think it's going to be tough to beat the same team twice in the same season. Neutral field here. Dan Lanning has a lot of experience playing in Mercedes-Benz. Oregon has played in Mercedes-Benz before. Obviously, it didn't go very well, but they have that experience playing there.
That matters.
Has to account for something. Dude, give me Oregon in this one, man. I don't, we talked about this Indiana Magic. However, they're locked in, they're focused. I think Curt Cignetti is an outstanding coach, but I think it ends on Friday when the Peach Bowl plays.
So tell me this, because I think the most fascinating thing about this game is the coaching matchup. Curt Cignetti against Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning, obviously defensive-minded. Curt Cignetti, he doesn't give many rips whatsoever. He's going to do his thing. He's obviously an offensive guy. I think that matchup is fascinating. I love the QB matchup as well. Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, two presumed first-rounders. There's no question about it. This game's going to be awesome. Yeah. Rematch. Indiana beat Oregon at Oregon. 30-20 earlier on in the season. Look, Indiana special. Dude, they absolutely walloped Alabama. 35 points. That's crazy.
The skeleton crew, Alabama. But go ahead.
Who cares? Oregon whooped up on Texas Tech. Shut them out 23-0. Like, this is going to be a great, great game. I got to lean Indiana here. I just got to lean with Curt Cignetti, Fernando Mendoza. They found a way week after week. They're undefeated. It's going to be awesome. I hear you, though. I would not be surprised whatsoever if Oregon goes on to win the national championship. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I think I do, man. I think this is Oregon's year. I think this is their breakout party. I think Dan Lanning finally gets the crown, winning a national championship, another Saban/Kirby disciple here.
Yep.
In this
for him, man. That'd be
huge.
I
think it'd be huge, and it's going to put Oregon on the map for a very long time. I think Indiana will be in the mix for a while. I think they got a lot of money backing, and obviously Curt Cignetti there, and he's had success in whatever he's done. But I do think this is Oregon's year. And if Dante Moore plays well, I think he's got it.
Okay, I'm going to give you one hypothetical and give me 10 seconds on it because we got to get going. I work with Mike Tannenbaum on Sundays. He's the former general manager of the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yep.
When the Raiders got the first overall pick and then they fired Pete Carroll, he said, hire Curt Cignetti and draft Fernando Mendoza. Yes or no? In the NFL.
Hey, I think hiring Curt Cignetti, wherever he's been,
I know that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. Wow.
So, I think there's some meat on that bone.
Meat on that bone. There's still some meat on the punt and pass bone as well. We, of course, will be back early next week to recap all the semifinal action, catch you up on all the news and notes around college football. Shout out to PrizePicks, awesome partners of Punt and Pass. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. You get $50 instantly in your account after your first $5 entry. Check them out at PrizePicks on social media. PrizePicks.com. Download the app. Promo code PUNT. Shout out to PrizePicks. Remember, Umberto Injury Law is your first call when accidents happen. Don't wait. Visit UmbertoInjuryLaw.com today. Umberto Injury Law, protecting people, fighting for justice, winning results. That's UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. Jake, anything on the way out, my man?
No, man, it's going to be fun. Exciting to watch these games. This is kind of what we wait for in the season. So no Georgia in it, but man, these are some good football teams. And it's going to be some exciting ball to watch.
No question. Follow us on social media at Punt and Pass, at Drew Butler, at From Jake. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you on Monday. See ya.
Yep.